Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Today we're going to try to make a Stack the Deck mini album from these scraps. This is what I had in my little scrap bag. So it looks like maybe a full sheet of 12 by 12 and some other little scraps. So what we need to do is determine sizes. Scrap paper, pencil. So I want a mini album for 3x4 pictures. It's my main size. So that means I want to have a border. So I want my pages to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. These are going to be my pages. Okay. So that means my cover needs to be a little bit bigger than that. We'll come back to the cover. Normally I like my cover about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch bigger, but sometimes I just like to leave it and see what I want. Okay, so for Stack the Deck Hinge, I'm getting well, it doesn't matter really what order you do these things in, but I'm gonna come back to my pages because you need pocket pages for Stack the Deck. Okay, so I need to make my pages double the first number, so that way it will fold in half. So 3 1/4 plus 3 1/4 is 6 1/2. Okay, so I already have that. 6 1/2 by 4 1/4. You can make your book 3 by 4, so that way you can do 6 by 4, and that way you don't have to use additional sheets of paper. I'm not in the paper saving mode right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and do mine 6 1/2 by 4 1/4. Okay, so I know my hinge needs to be something by 4. They all need to be by 4 1/4. Stack the Deck is, you know what, I don't want that many pages. So you just need to determine with the Stack the Deck how many hinges you want, how many pages you want to make. Typically to Stack the Deck, back in the day, we stacked 3 of them, so you have 6 pages. I don't want to have 6 pages, so I'm only going to have 4 pages, so I only need 2 hinge systems. The bottom one needs to be bigger than the top one because that's how you stack it. So you need to determine how, here's the center, and here are your little flaps for your Stack the Deck. You need to determine how wide you want your spine or your gussets, which I'm going to do 1/2 inch, and I'm going to go ahead and do 1/2 inch for my little wings. It's just going to be easier for me to work with 1/2 inch. The original Stack the Deck, it was your wings were 1/4 inch, I think 3/4 inch, I want to say 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 inch. I don't know, but it was small. I don't want to work with smalls. So let's do, let me think about this for a second, because I have not done Stack the Deck in a minute. You know what? Let's just make it. That's how we're going to find our measurements. Y'all are getting real. So 1/2, so that's 1 1/2 by 4 1/4. Let's see what the best scrap piece would be. I'll just use this piece because I got all messed up, but it's fine. So what did I say? 1 1/2 inches by 4 1/4. And on the short side, 1/2 inch and 1. So here's one of my hinge systems, and with this you just fold it up, and that's how it works. It's like one of these little shape things. So I think I need to do 1/4 of an inch in the middle. I don't know where my other pencil went. So now I need to do 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 of an inch. So that's 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. Oops. By 4 1/4, and it's going to be 1/2 inch on both sides, the short side. Just because I want my flaps to be 1/2 inch, your flaps can be 1/4 inch, they can be 3/8 of an inch, they can be whatever you want. I just want to work with 1/2 inch right now. Okay, and then that's going to go directly in the middle. Yep, okay. So we need 1.5 by 4 1/4, and then we need 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. Scored the short side at 1/2, and where's a ruler? I got like 45 rulers and I can't find one. So 1/2 inch and 1. This one's the short side, which was 1/2 inch and 3/4. 1/2 and 3/4. Cool. Okay, so we have our hinge system. We're going to put that to the side. So let's go ahead and cut our pages, which are going to be 6 1/2 by 4 1/4. Again, we're going to see how big these papers are. They're not very, okay. Well, 6 1/2 by 4 1/4. And we're going to score that at 3 1/4 because we just needed 1/2, right? Yep. This is not going to be big enough. I think this is like 6. Okay, so 6 1/2 by 4 1/4. Score it at 3 1/4. All right, so we need 4 pages because we have 4 arms on our hinge system, right? And you can, I've seen people make smaller pages and they cut their hinges all weird. You can be as creative as you want. Right now, I'm just going to be super simple because I want every craft level to be able to make this book. So we're just going to go simple. You can always add, you can, you know, take things out that you don't want that I have, you know, it's your book. Score it at 3 1/4, and I get 1 more. Okay, so 4 1/4. And you may have different scraps. Feel free to use different color papers and, you know, get really creative with it. There's one of the first projects that I did that was Kathy King. It was I forgot the name of the book, but you use pink, blue, and white and purple base pages, because that's the scraps that she had, and it came out so beautiful. You don't have to do your pages all one color. Just do coordinating colors to whatever paper collection you're using, and you're good to go. Most of the time I don't mat the things that I make, and so I never know what paper collection I'm going to use, so I typically do mine in white or black. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to our hinge. I know we're jumping all over the place, but I'm in a jumping day. Okay, so we're going to use glue, which I don't know where the lid to my glue bottle went, and if I did, I wouldn't have to deal with unclogging it all the time. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to take the smaller hinge, stack the deck, I'm going to put glue down the middle or tape down the middle. This is on the 1/4 inch. And I'm going to stack that right on top of our 1/2 inch, right in the middle. So you should have about 1/8 of an inch on either side. Just get it down as best as you can. Sometimes I open them, sometimes I keep it closed. Just do the best you can. You can measure if you want. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, that looks good. Let it dry. So for the reason why I did such a small gusset between the two, it's only 1/8 of an inch on the back, but there's a whole 1/4 of an inch in the middle, is because I like to add more flips and flaps in the middle because I feel like the book is more balanced that way. And I don't know if that is right, but that's what makes me feel better. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is just glue our pages on like a regular pocket page onto your hinges. This was like the most simple hinge system that you could get. And I'm using 1/8 of an inch score tape just because that's what I want to do. And this time I'm putting it on the pages instead of the hinge. I don't know why, but that's just what I decided right now. And I feel like that's not going to be enough. So let's see. Like I said, I have not done Stack the Deck in years. So I'm just closing my pocket on the hinge right up to the score line. We're not touching the score line. Okay, I think, yep, I think I'm gonna have to, I remember why we don't use such large hinge things, because when you get this on there, that's taking that whole piece away, but that's fine. I don't mind. Okay. Oh no. Okay. There we go. Now my page, and then so you're going to have that about 1/2 an inch that you cannot use for your pocket, for your tag, but I don't think that's a huge deal. I don't think anybody cares. Put your tag in there. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tape up and glue down all the rest of my pages. First, I'll tape them up. Okay, now I remember why, like, I used to go through so much 1/8 of an inch tape, score tape, but I think this roll of 1/8 of an inch that I probably had this for 5 years now, 4 years. But now I remember why I no longer use 1/8 of an inch, because we did move to putting the tape on the hinges as opposed to the pocket pages. So now I remember that. There's a lot of, a lot of changes in the craft world that happen, and it's basically, it's all the same at the end. It's just, what the, oh. I tried it, there's no glue on this side. That's hilarious. I did the 2 bottoms instead of the 2 side pieces and was wondering why it didn't stick. You only have to do one of the bottom. Apparently I did 2. Because like I said, I haven't done Stack the Deck in a long time. Alright, so there we go. And also I think this was the other reason why, because you have like an opening, and sometimes your items that you're putting in there can get stuck in that opening. So I did add a little glue to mine, but it's all coming back to me now. Why we stopped doing certain things. Okay. And you know what? I did not even check to make sure all of them were opening at the top. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, okay, thank you, glitter gods. All right. So the album is done, okay? Back in the day, we did used to put, a cover on it. We did chipboard covers. We loved chipboard covers. But now that the paper is such high quality, you can leave your little mini album just like this. And this is super cute, okay? If you want to add a chipboard cover, you absolutely can. This is your spine. You just glue this inside. So it's really up to you what you want to do. Should we do an old school chipboard cover? Why not? Okay, old school chipboard cover. Why not? We're already here. Okay, so my chipboard cover, because I really only wanted to decorate these inside pages. I didn't want to have to do a cover, but I will do a cover. So I want my cover to be just like 1/4 of an inch bigger. So 3.5 by 4.5 with a, this is a 1/2 inch spine. So I could do 3/4 if I want to, but I think I'm just going to keep it with 1/2 inch. It's going to fit snug. Let's see, 1/2, 1, 3, 5. Why don't we do about 5/8 spine? Okay, let's do that. Let's pull out chipboard, or you can use cereal box. I'm going to use, I'm just going to use my chipboard. I think I have some little pieces that would be perfect. Let's see what I got. Nope. I know this one's bigger. Let's see what this one works. Yep. All right, so I'm going to cut my chipboard. I'm going to need 2 pieces of 3.5 by 4.5 and 1 piece at 5/8. Okay, so I cut out my chipboard, and now we're going to go ahead and cover our wrap piece. I like to wrap mine with thinner pattern paper or whatever, so there's no cracking, but I'll just show you how to do it with the, whatever cardstock you're using. I add 1 inch to the top and bottom of my length. So this is 6.5 by 12, and I'm going to go ahead and score it at 1 inch on 2 sides, just to kind of give me a guide of where to put my my chipboard. Okay, now you can glue or tape your chipboard or both. I'm going to glue today. Allegedly, possibly. There we go. I normally tape and glue, but today I'm just trying to get this done. I'm trying to do better in the new year with the amount of adhesive that I use, because I use entirely way too much adhesive. It is unnecessary, but sometimes that's just what I do. All right. I'm going to make my gussets. This is back in the day, there was the craft debate of 8 inch between versus 1/4 inch. I typically put my 1/4 inch down, and then I go somewhere in between 8 inch and 1/4 inch, whatever that measurement is. that's what I do. I just, you know, I didn't want to be part of the debate, and I went halfway in the middle. Because I think that sometimes 1/4 of an inch is just too much and you're going to rip your book. But then that's when we got introduced to Tyvek, right? Because Tyvek made it so your book was not going to tear no matter what, in, you know, in the seam here. So, you know, whatever makes you comfortable. I typically don't do these old school covers anymore because, like I said, our paper quality has greatly increased, and we don't need to do chipboard covers anymore unless you just really want to. You like that style. Sometimes I do. Today I felt like a chipboard cover. I kind of didn't, but I'm doing it. Okay. So you're going to do whatever is comfortable for you, and I'm going to do what's comfortable for me. We listen and we don't judge. Okay. All right. Now the side here, I'm just going to cut off all but an inch. Where is my ruler? Don't tell me I left the ruler. I don't know where my other ruler went. I have a million of them. Oh, I see it. Both of them are over there. So my back counter is where I have my the big paper trimmer. So, all right. Now our paper that's already scored is going to be easy to train. A paper that's not scored, take your bone folder and score it. Okay. And, you know, we're just going to make sure that it's folding up nicely. We don't want any cracks. We don't want drama. Okay. So for our corners, you're going to just cut the diagonal. I'm going to use my fancy little things I got from Amazon for Christmas last year, or actually the year before, technically. These are the corners to make sure that you don't cut too much off. Obviously, this is an extra step. Normally, I don't want to be this precise, and I just cut, and then I cut too much off my corner, then I'm not. So you want to leave enough, just so you have about 1/8 of an inch past your corner, so that way your corner wraps nicely. We're almost done here. Okay. Now you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut on that diagonal. Whether you hand drew it or you're just freehanding it with your scissors, go for it. But since I haven't done this in a while, I didn't want to freehand. Okay. Again, I normally glue and tape. Today I'm just going to glue. I'm being brave. It's actually making me very nervous, but I see all of y'all make them with just glue, and they look beautiful and they're perfect. So that's what's gonna happen today. Where's my espresso? Okay, here we go, perfect. We're gonna pinch in our corners. You're gonna take your bone folder, pinch your corner in, both of those sides, so that way that corner is wrapped, okay? I always do the long side first and then the short side. And I also always put this glue right here because that kind of wets your, the seam, I guess, or your scoring line. And I think it helps prevent cracking. I don't know. I might just be making that up. But once I started putting glue in there, I had less cracking. Okay. Again, we're going to push in our corners. This one I put too much glue. I have no idea where my glue towel is, so we're just going to let that sit. Make sure there's no wrinkles right there. And kind of come in here, make sure we can close our book. Okay, that is perfect. And then Again, I'm gonna put some in the seam. Seam, that's the word I was looking for. Ooh, that was awkward. I did it from the top. Normally I work upside down, but okay, make sure that, oh man, look at those perfectly wrapped corners. Okay, again, glue, and ha, look at that. It is perfect. I'm super excited. Look at how gorgeous that is. Man, I need to go back to doing chipboard covers. That is beautiful. Okay. All right, let me go yell at David because he's supposed to be taking a nap, and I just heard him walking around. Okay. So this was the other debate back in the day for the chipboard covers. If you should add a full piece of paper to cover it, or just a little piece in the middle to cover, you know, your gap, and then you can add different paper. Again, it was a preference thing. I don't think I ever had a specific preference. I think I just kind of, whatever I felt like, that's what I do. And I'm kind of going to do that today too. So I just saw this piece of paper and I was like, that is probably going to fit perfectly. And it does. It's a little shorter than what I like, so it's going to have like a bigger border. But I literally just stood up and, no, it's too short. Okay. So I think I'm just going to use this paper here. So you're getting some matting. This was what, 4.5. So 4 3/8. But this is my paper trimmer does not like this paper. Because look, I just did that one cut. Look how much fibers is in here from that one cut. Hold on, I'll pull it out. And these little pieces right here. All of that from one cut. That's a lot of fibers. This paper is so fibrous. Okay. So I'm gonna glue half at a time. Yep, I'm nervous. Just kind of guessing where my half line mark is. And I think at one point I did change to all glue, and then I went back to tape. I mean, we're human, right? We're gonna change our minds a million times. Okay. So the reason why I only did half was to make sure that I can get this paper in the cracks with no bubbles. And then here's the other crack. I don't want any bubbles. Bubbles drive me insane. Okay. Make sure that glue is down. No bubbles, no wrinkles. Okay. What's going on there? And then we will do the same for this side. And again, I've gone back and forth whether I love glue or tape for this portion. I don't know. I don't know what the best. Obviously, I'm not the end-all be-all. I kind of just, whatever you feel comfortable with, on the day you feel comfortable with it, that's it. Okay, no bubbles, no creases, no wrinkles. Okay. Wow, I did a perfect chipboard cover today. I'm so proud of myself. That's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. That's the only thing about glue, you have to let it dry. And while that's drying, we're gonna add some, let's add some flips and flaps to our book. Why not, right? All right. Again, these are your basic flips and flaps. There's nothing fancy about these. There's no pop-up mechanisms or anything that I'm going to do in these. They're just simple flips and flaps because I want you to add. Whatever you've seen from other crafters, or even on my page when I do a couple of advanced books. I want you to be able to use everything that you're learning in these books. But for right now, they're going to be the simplest of the simples, just so everyone can have a great time, whether you're just starting out or you've been crafting for 30 years. All right, so my first flap is 3, well, it was 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 1/2 inch on the short side, and then I just cut off a little bit to make sure it doesn't mess with anything. So this is how you're adding pages, you're adding interest, you're adding, whatever you want. You don't have to add. If you want this and you only want to add 2, 4, 8 pictures, you're good to go. You can add some pictures in the top flaps too. Or if you wanted to use this for something other than photos, then you're good. You don't have to add. But adding these little flips and flaps gives you more real estate for more pictures, more journaling, more sticker scrapbooking. I've been watching a lot of that on Reels. And I kind of like it, where she uses like a bunch of washi tape and a bunch of stickers. So yeah, whatever you want this little journal for, or maybe you just need something to write like a to-do list, and you can actually put that whiteboard paper on here or clear contact paper and use your metallic markers. And so you have a erasable little booklet. All right, so I'm going to go through and add flips and flaps, and I will give you the measurements because I don't think you want to sit here and watch me figure this all out. So let me get them cut out and ready, and then I will show you them. Maybe. Okay, so I went and ate a cheeseburger. And then I thought about, I'm just going to keep this book super, super, super easy, quick, because I'm the one that has to mat this thing. So what I decided to do was just go ahead and make 4 flaps that are 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, which we already put one down. And then 4 flaps that are 3 1/8 by 4 3/4. Measurements in the description box. It's about to pour down rain, so if it starts getting dark or you hear crazy, it's a storm coming. Okay, so we already glued this piece on, so I'm going to flip it open. So these 2 pieces are going to be up and down. And yes, I reverted back to tape. So I cut these slightly smaller, just so that way I don't have to worry about it getting caught up in the, the squirt lines. You can make them full size if you want, or slightly smaller. That's why I did it 3/8 of an inch, so that way it was a little bit smaller. So I put one so it can come down like this. You can add more, so you can have a room for a huge picture and chop that picture up, and it'd be super cute. Like if you wanted to add a, 1 and 1, feel free. Same measurements. All right, so this one I'm gonna go left to right. And no, I didn't check to see if my book was upside down or not, because it's gonna be the same. I don't care if it's on the top or the bottom. So this one is left to right. Make sure there's no overhang. And here And again, I cut this 1/8 of an inch shorter. So I think this is 4 1/8. Let me write that down. I will put the shorter measurements in the description box, and if you want them bigger, you can make them bigger. So see, I started doing what I did last time, but then I was like, you know what, I just want to make it simple. Okay, and then the next page, again, it's going to be top and bottom. So maybe I want this side to be the bottom and the other side to be the top, so the opposite of the first one. Okay. Or you can put them both on the bottom, both on the top. This is really all about you. Okay, and the very last page is going to be this way. That one opens this way, so I want the last page to open that way. Does it matter? Nope. So I'm putting it on the back here in the middle. Oh. Okay. Got a little crazy there. The middle part came off. Okay. So right now it's not matte. It doesn't matter which side is the front, which side is the back, but you have a flip, open, boom, open, open. Oh, I think I did them the same, didn't I? Oh no. And then open. Okay, cool, done. Now all you're gonna do is glue your spine onto your book. I will probably do that during matting because it'll be easier for me to mat this while it's pliable, because like when you have the chipboard cover, it's a little bit harder. And I haven't decided with the chipboard cover. I think I am gonna have to cover because this paper was so thin. You can see the lines of my cover paper. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And I haven't decided if I want to do pockets. Sometimes I just don't want a pocket. Like, we always put pockets. Sometimes I don't want a pocket. I don't think I want pockets today. I don't know. So we'll see. All right. Well, that is the construction of the book. Super easy, super quick. If you have everything cut out, obviously it will not take you the 40 minutes to do this. But yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.